is so common for people to come to me really confused about the concept of alchemy and why it's a crucial self-development skill for business leaders. And with all of the misinformation around, I can certainly understand why. So let me show you what alchemy really means and what the key ingredients are and the science behind it to use it as a skill that will transform the landscape of your business, life, and relationships. First, let's clear up what alchemy is not. It is not some woo-woo, ungrounded concept that lacks practical application or that can only be used on a meditation cushion. I have witnessed alchemy take teams from chaotic and disconnected to productive and on track with shared vision. I've seen it turn leaders from being perceived as arrogant and untrustworthy into leaders everyone turns to first. Alchemy will fill those who are unmotivated and burned out with intrinsic passion, motivation, and consistently replenishing energy levels. It can help businesses challenged by economic instability rise up to build a business model that will sustain the tides of change. And I have seen alchemy turn marriages around and build unshakable connections between parents and their children. I'm Jordanna Eyre, Chief Sorceress of Life and Business at Spiral Growth Systems. Through my work, I have helped over 4,000 leaders across 6 continents, including founders of unicorn companies and executives from Microsoft, LinkedIn, and Stanford University, create lasting change in business and relationships, all through alchemy. I use a proven framework powered by the Fibonacci sequence to unlock authentic power and unique wisdom, dissolving barriers, preventing impact and fulfillment. This channel is all about making authentic leadership available to everyone. So a small thing you can do to help me out with this mission is to give this video a quick like. So let me show you what alchemy really means. Alchemy is a practice of blending elements of physiology, neurobiology, Chinese medicine, and quantum physics to catalyze a level of emotional integration so profound that it literally changes the structure of things. I am talking about the matter of your inner and outer world. There's a core component that differentiates those who know a lot about the components of alchemy from those who are able to utilize them to access alchemy. I've had students with PhDs in neuroscience and physics, just the same as students with backgrounds in shamanism and energy work, all of whom could not make sense of alchemy until this core component was activated. And that is shifting out of the intellectual approach of these sciences into the experience of them. By experience, I mean being able to feel, see, and touch that which is beyond the intellectual, the cognitive, and the meaning-making machine of the mind. By shifting out of the intellectualization of spirituality into a deeper cellular level experience, we can access the universal consciousness of what also exists in science. This is where we can feel, see, touch, and know in our bones the design alchemy offers for DNA transformation. Let's start with neurobiology. Since much of our emotional pain is linked to our unconscious, we need a way to tap into all that's buried beneath what we can see. Neurobiology helps us uncover unconscious patterns and rewire the brain so that our neural pathways support our state of being rather than the other way around. We know that our brain, spine, and nerves are constantly sending signals to all 30 trillion of our cells, as well as signals to our surroundings. Yet, most of those signals aren't something we are consciously aware of. This means that for most people, it is difficult to truly know whether what we perceive with our conscious awareness is congruent with what's really going on deep inside of our consciousness. With neurobiology, we can tap into the most subtle signals our brains are sending to our bodies and our environment, and use those signals to uncover who we are beneath the ancient patterns of ancestral trauma, conditioning, or illusion. To create new neural pathways that aid in cultivating our vision of our lives, we first have to dissolve the pathways that aren't serving us. Then we can harmonize new neural pathways that allow transformation to happen in our cells and the very fiber of our physical experience organically. Then we add physiology. Your body is a living, breathing organism made up of cells, and almost all functions of human physiology are performed in cells and initiated by cells. Within each and every cell, there is information. And between those cells, information is continually transmitted and constantly changing. Your body is already designed to convert energy and to take one form of information and relay it into another. We see this through how our bloodstream cleanses itself, what happens to the nutrients of the food we eat, and how our endocrine system uses hormones and transmitters to support various states of being: emotional, mental, spiritual, and physical. The information being relayed through our cells also comes from our environment, conditioning, buried trauma, our thoughts, and emotions that go unprocessed. Just as our bodies know how to digest food or breathe without us needing to make a conscious effort for it to happen, our bodies also know how to flow the pain, conditioning, and memories of the past to organically transmute us into a state of increasing alignment where our future goals, dreams, and desires can begin to exist in the present. Our cells are constantly regenerating, and every single part of our physiology was made for DNA level transformation. This is an innate physiological process that is accessed when we return to our most authentic, somatically informed state of being. Then there's Chinese medicine. This connects us to the energy systems of the body and shows us how to open them up to flush out stagnant energy and buried trauma, and how to align these systems so that they can calibrate us to keep us motivated, balanced, and energized when we're focused on the busy day-to-day of business and life. The energy inside of us and our lives needs to flow organically, or else it causes physical, emotional, and mental obstacles. To utilize the benefits of Chinese medicine to access alchemy, you don't need to memorize each meridian in the body or all of the points that channel the most powerful energy, because alchemy is an organic process. By connecting to the energy systems in the body, they can show you the pathways of where and how energy needs to move to get unstuck or convert into a new form. Energy flows when what was blocking it frees up. Whether it's an unconscious, physical, mental, or emotional block, energy will flow in the direction of what needs to uproot and dissolve, as well as what needs to flow through you so that you can be your most inspired, resourced, and creative self. The systems of Chinese medicine naturally balance yin and yang, energy and the physical world. It gives structured evidence that energy precedes physicality. This means that for anything to form in the physical world, it first has to be formed as energy, which also means that for anything to change in the physical world, its energy has to change first. The energy systems in our bodies inherently use the same structure and flow used by the Fibonacci sequence, and therefore by nature, to transform and to create. The congruent structure and flow of the energy in our bodies shows us that we are indeed part of nature, and that just as nature does, our living organism can empty out what no longer serves to create more of what does. If you've ever tried to force change, then you know that is a surefire way to create unnecessary chaos. The energy systems in our bodies inherently teach us how to create alignment. But it's when we add physics to the mix that something even more powerful happens to cause alchemy. When we apply the laws of physics, our emotional pain literally dissolves. You can think about it like this. When you place sugar into water, it dissolves easily, right? Believe it or not, our bodies are able to do the same thing with stored trauma and emotional pain by sending it out through our bloodstream and our digestive system to eliminate. We use what quantum physics researchers call the observer effect, and we take from it the concept that subatomic particles of matter exist in a state of superposition, which is a super sciencey way of saying that at the quantum level, matter exists in multiple states at the same time, until it's measured. When unprocessed emotions get stored in our body, our minds manifest that trauma as physical ailments, addictions, exhaustion, reactivity, and they are literally at the root of every challenge we experience in daily life. The energy of our emotions gets trapped in the very fiber of our being and resurfaces over and over again until we either deal with it or nature forces its hand. This means we either integrate the cellular level matter of unwanted circumstances, or they keep recurring in various ways, causing us to feel like we are backed up against a corner or giving in to a lackluster version of what we'd rather be experiencing. When we apply focused attention to the trauma, it gathers and then dissolves, just like sugar in water. This allows your body to process it. So with alchemy, stored trauma and emotion is cleared from the physical body, the energy body, and the nervous system. It can even help rewire the neural pathways of the brain. We open to make room inside of ourselves to create new, healthy patterns and experience reality in a completely different way. When we add the experience of the other laws of physics and quantum mechanics, such as the laws of motion, thermodynamics, and quantum entanglement, we discover that there are vibrational systems moving through our business, relationships, and lives with direction. So, if alchemy transforms the cellular matter inside of us, can it transform the matter outside of us as well? This is where the metaphysical experience is a bit ahead of mainstream science. Through quantum entanglement, we know that our experiences can affect each other. Heisenberg's uncertainty principle shows us that reality is dynamic in nature and that our perception or focus can shift the actual appearance of or experience of reality. So we know that reality is malleable. And when we factor in collective consciousness, we can be changed by, as well as influence the change of factors far greater than our individual mind-body organisms. Because alchemy is the experiential melding of the energy systems inside of and around us, it provides direction and alignment with creation's flow through our lives. We can't control it or will it to do anything, because that is not how our authentic experience with creation works. We can, however, align ourselves with our innate capacity to connect to creation's structure and flow of change. With intention, trust, and desire, we can allow it to dissolve the matter of what no longer serves us or the contribution we're here to be. So there is obviously so much deeper I could go here, but the big question is, can anyone use alchemy to transform? The answer is yes, if you're willing to connect to your emotions. And most of us are in an unconscious battle to avoid it. We'd rather distract, overanalyze, or make any excuse to stay stuck in our old patterns because change can be uncomfortable. But if you're ready to move past the distracting, the avoiding, to be truly present, you'll see alchemical transformation really quickly. As your internal world improves, so does everything around you. So if you want to learn more about alchemy and what it can do for you in leadership, then I highly recommend downloading a copy of my free book. We will go deeper into alchemy, and we'll also cover the 9 leadership accelerators you need to find a sweet spot between professional impact and personal fulfillment. If that sounds good to you, there's a link to download the book in the description below this video. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I post a new video every week, and I will see you in the next one.